A man stands on a narrow wooden platform, 100 feet above the jungle floor. His only connection to the world is 2 jungle vines tied around his ankles. Below him, the entire village watches, their voices rising in a rhythmic, hypnotic chant. He crosses his arms over his chest, takes a final breath and leaps into the void. He plummets towards the earth, the vines snapping taut just moments before his head would smash into the ground, his shoulders gently brushing the soil. This is not bungee jumping. This is a prayer. This is the Naghol, the land diving of Vanuatu. Welcome to Veiled Traditions. Today we journey to the remote Pentecost Island in the Pacific archipelago of Vanuatu. Here, the Say people perform one of the most dangerous and visually breathtaking rituals on the planet. For generations, they have built colossal wooden towers and leaped from their heights in a sacred tradition that inspired the modern sport of bungee jumping. But the differences could not be more profound. In bungee jumping, the goal is to survive the fall. In land diving, the goal is to come as close to death as possible, to bless the earth with your body. We will uncover the incredible origin myth behind this death-defying act, a story that begins not with a man, but with a woman. We will explore the phenomenal engineering of their towers and the life or death science of their vine ropes. This is the story of a leap of faith that guarantees a bountiful harvest and proves a boy has become a man. To join us on this journey to the edge of human courage, be sure to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications. Our leap begins now. The islands of Vanuatu, part of a region known as Melanesia, are a crucible of culture, home to hundreds of distinct languages and ancient traditions. Pentecost Island, a lush mountainous sliver of land, is the exclusive home of the Naghol. The ritual is practiced by the Sa people, who live on the southern part of the island. It is not a year-round activity. It is a sacred season, taking place only between April and June. The reason for this timing is the very heart of the ritual's purpose, the yam harvest. For the Sa people, the yam is the staff of life. A good yam harvest means prosperity, health, and survival. A bad harvest means hunger and hardship. The Naghol is, in its essence, a fertility ritual. The land divers are not daredevils. They are intermediaries between the community and the spirits of the land. Their courageous leap is a sacred offering, a transaction with the earth. By diving from the tower and coming as close as possible to the soil, they are believed to fertilize it, to bless it with their vitality, ensuring a rich and plentiful harvest of yams. The higher the jump, the more powerful the blessing, and the more bountiful the harvest will be. But the spiritual significance of the jump is even more complex, rooted in a powerful origin myth that flips the entire script on what this ritual appears to be. To an outsider, the Naghol looks like an ultimate test of male courage, a display of macho bravado. But the story of the very first land dive begins with a woman's act of defiance. The legend tells of a woman who was being mistreated by her husband. To escape his abusive pursuit, she ran into the forest and climbed a tall banyan tree. Her husband, relentless, climbed after her. Just as he was about to catch her, she leaped from the high branches. The husband, in his rage, did not hesitate. He leaped after her to his death. But the woman survived. Unbeknownst to her husband, she had secretly tied liana vines around her ankles, which broke her fall just before she hit the ground. She had outsmarted him, using her knowledge of the forest to save herself. Initially, the men of the village were humiliated by this story. They felt tricked and outdone by a woman's cleverness. So, they began to practice the jump themselves, determined to master the art and reclaim their honor. This is why, to this day, only men are allowed to jump. The ritual is a symbolic reenactment of this mythic event, a way for men to confront and master the leap that was pioneered by a woman. It is a complex drama of gender, power, and respect for the deep knowledge of nature. Every jump is a retelling of this ancient story, a testament to the woman who first dared to leap. The most visually imposing element of the Naghol is the tower itself. These are not simple platforms. They are feats of indigenous engineering, built with a complexity and knowledge that is breathtaking. Standing anywhere from 60 to 100 feet tall, these towers are constructed entirely from materials sourced from the surrounding jungle. There is not a single nail, screw, or piece of metal used in their construction. The entire structure is held together by lashing vines together in a complex lattice of joints. The building of the tower is a communal and sacred process. It takes the men of the village several weeks to complete. They work together, felling trees for the main supports and gathering vines for the lashings. The design itself is a marvel of organic engineering. The tower is not rigid. It is designed to be flexible, to absorb the immense shock of a diver's fall. When a man jumps, the entire structure can be seen to sway and bend, dissipating the energy that would otherwise snap the diver's ankles or the vines. It is a living, breathing structure, as much a part of the forest as the trees from which it was made. The tower is built with a series of platforms at different heights. This allows for a progression. Young boys, as young as 7 or 8, will make their first jumps from the lowest platforms, just a few feet off the ground. This is their first step on the path to manhood. As they grow older and more experienced, they will graduate to higher and higher platforms, with the highest platform reserved for the most experienced and bravest men in the community. It is a ladder of courage that every male in the society is expected to climb. But the tower, for all its ingenuity, is only half of the equation. The other half is the most critical element, the one upon which a man's life truly depends: the vines. These are not just any vines grabbed from the jungle. They are a specific species of liana, chosen with a scientific precision that is a matter of life and death. The selection is done by the elders, men who possess generations of accumulated knowledge. They know which vines have the right amount of elasticity and strength. The calculation is terrifyingly precise. If the vine is too long, the diver will hit the ground with fatal force. If the vine is too short, it will snap taut too early, breaking his ankles, dislocating his joints, or causing other severe injuries. If the vine is too dry and brittle, it will snap. If it is too green and sappy, it will not be elastic enough. The elders must calculate the length for each individual jumper based on his weight and the height of the platform he is jumping from. They do this by eye, by feel, a skill honed over a lifetime. The diver's life rests entirely on the elder's knowledge and the integrity of the vine he has chosen. On the day of the ceremony, the atmosphere at the base of the tower is electric. The village gathers. The women dressed in traditional grass skirts perform a rhythmic dance and sing songs to give the divers courage. The men who are about to jump are often silent and focused, their bodies marked with traditional patterns. They are not daredevils seeking an adrenaline rush. They are men about to perform a sacred duty. Before his jump, a diver will climb to his chosen platform and deliver a speech. He might settle old grievances, offer advice, or speak of his hopes and fears. It is a moment of profound vulnerability and honesty. In the moments before you leap into the void, you speak the truth. He then turns his back to the open air. The 2 vines are carefully tied around his ankles by a fellow villager, and he prepares for the final moment. If you are captivated by the courage and deep faith behind this tradition, please take a moment to hit the like button. Your support helps us to bring more of these incredible cultural stories to the global stage. The moment of the jump is the climax of weeks of preparation and a lifetime of cultural conditioning. The diver stands on the edge, looking down. The ground has been tilled and softened to provide some small measure of cushioning, but from this height, it offers little comfort. The chanting from below intensifies. The diver crosses his arms over his chest to help protect his collarbones on impact. He might whisper a final prayer. Then, he leaps. The fall itself is silent and breathtakingly fast. For a few seconds, he is suspended between the world of the living and the world of the spirits. Then the vines pull taut with a violent snap, and his trajectory is arrested just in time. The goal of a perfect dive is for the jumper's head or shoulders to gently graze the softened earth below. This physical contact between the diver and the soil is the moment of blessing. It is the transfer of vitality, the act that fertilizes the land. It is the reason for the entire ritual. Once the jump is complete, The diver is quickly untied by his fellow villagers and celebrated as a hero. He has faced death and returned. He has fulfilled his duty to his community and to the land. His successful jump is not just a personal victory, it is a collective one, a sign that the spirits are pleased and that the yam harvest will be a good one. For the young boys making their first jumps from the lower platforms, the experience is transformative. It is their first public demonstration of courage. Even from a few feet up, the leap is a terrifying prospect for a child. By overcoming their fear, they take their first concrete step into the world of men. They have begun their journey up the tower, a journey that will define their lives. But things can and do go wrong. This is not a perfectly safe and sanitized ritual. Deaths have occurred. A miscalculation in the length of the vine is the most common cause of tragedy. In 1974, a documentary crew was filming the Naghol when Queen Elizabeth II was visiting Vanuatu. For this special occasion, the islanders performed the ritual during the wrong season, when the vines were not at their optimal elasticity. A vine snapped, and a diver fell to his death. This tragic event highlighted the very real dangers of the ritual and the critical importance of adhering to traditional knowledge and timing. This event also marked a turning point in the world's perception of the Naghol. The footage, broadcast globally, brought this remote tradition to international attention. It was this footage that directly inspired the founders of the Oxford University Dangerous Sports Club, who, in 1979, performed the first modern bungee jumps from the Clifton Suspension Bridge in Bristol, England. They had replaced the organic, non-elastic vines with highly elastic bungee cords, fundamentally changing the physics and the purpose of the jump. Where the Naghol was about getting as close to the ground as possible, bungee jumping was about the thrill of the rebound. This connection has had a profound and complex impact on Pentecost Island. The Naghol has become a significant tourist attraction. Every year during the land diving season, tour operators bring groups of foreigners to witness the spectacle. This has brought a much-needed source of income to the local communities. The money from tourist fees helps to pay for school fees, medical supplies, and other modern necessities. However, tourism has also created challenges. It can put pressure on the divers to perform more often than they traditionally would. It introduces a commercial element into what is a deeply sacred act. Some worry that the ritual is becoming a performance for outsiders, rather than an authentic expression of their own culture. The SA people are actively navigating this complex issue, trying to find a balance between the economic benefits of tourism and the need to protect the spiritual integrity of their most important tradition. They have largely taken control of the tourism aspect themselves, ensuring that the profits benefit the community directly and that visitors watch with a degree of respect. The Naghol is a complex tapestry of meaning. On one level, it is a rite of passage, a structured way for boys to become men. By facing their fear and leaping from the tower, they prove their courage and their readiness to take on the responsibilities of adulthood. They earn the respect of their community and their place among the men. On another level, it is a fertility ritual, a direct and dramatic appeal to the land for a bountiful harvest. It is a powerful expression of the Say people's dependence on and deep respect for their environment. They do not simply take from the earth. They believe they must give back, and the most potent thing they can give is a demonstration of their own vitality and courage. And on yet another level, it is a living myth, a constant retelling of the story of the woman who outsmarted her husband. It is a cultural drama that explores themes of power, gender, and the origins of their own traditions. The jump is a physical act, but it is also a story being told with the human body as the language. Today, the land divers of Pentecost Island stand at a crossroads. They are the guardians of an ancient tradition that has suddenly found itself on the global stage. They are the originators of a practice that has been transformed into a multi-million-dollar global industry. Yet, for them, it remains what it has always been, a sacred duty. When a man stands at the top of the tower, he is not thinking about tourists or bungee cords. He is thinking about his ancestors who have made the same leap. He is thinking about the yams in the field and the well-being of his family. He is thinking about the woman who jumped from the banyan tree. He is participating in a tradition that is far older and more meaningful than any modern sport. The Naghol is a powerful reminder that the line between faith and what we might call extreme sports can be very thin. But while both may involve courage and risk, their motivations are worlds apart. The thrill seeker jumps for himself, for the adrenaline rush. The land diver of Pentecost Island jumps for his people, for the harvest, for the continuation of life itself. His is not a leap into the void, but a leap into the very heart of his culture. It is a pact made between a man and the land, sealed with courage, and paid for with the currency of absolute faith. What are your thoughts on this incredible ritual? Where is the line between a sacred tradition and a dangerous stunt? Share your respectful opinions in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on this breathtaking journey to Vanuatu. To ensure you don't miss our next exploration of the world's most hidden customs, make sure you are subscribed to Veiled Traditions. Until next time, keep searching for the truth that lies behind the veil.